Hey gamers, welcome to the channel. My name is Izzy, and I am straight up obsessed with all things books, TV shows, films, and music. And today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of my favorite small artists. I feel like small artists nowadays are something we're always like, if you're a big music lover, you're always looking for a small artist because it is so much easier to get tickets to see a small artist and be like, oh, I was able to see this artist for like $38 back when they were small. It's such a flex because you can say that. I was able to do that with both Role Model and Somber. I was able to get their tickets for really cheap because my best friend knew them when they were smaller artists. So, I'm here to give you guys some really good small artist recommendations. Yeah. So, thank you guys all for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. Just know that I am just a wee little girl on the internet. And if you don't like my opinions or you think that my music taste is dumb or stupid, that's okay. I'm just a girl. And that's just my opinion. We're just talking about some of the artists that I like. If you don't like them, that's okay. I'm gonna not take it offendedly. Well, I'm not gonna take it personally. I don't think the artists are gonna take it personally. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, before we get into the musicians, I want to sort of give you a little like glimpse into what music I do like. So you're not coming here as if you're not a big rock fan and you're coming into this video being like, yes, I need some small rock artists, heavy metal artists, I should say, because I do listen to some rocky artists. I'm gonna get flamed for saying that, I fear. People are gonna be like, you don't listen to rock, you listen to that's not real rock. Okay, I never claimed to listen to real rock. Okay. Anyways, what was I saying? Lost my train of thought. Okay, give you a little bit of a glimpse through my favorite artists, what type of music I do listen to, and that sort of, I think, leads us into my favorite artists. So number one, we have Noah Kahan, because you ever listened to Noah Kahan before? That man, nobody else is like that man when it comes to music. Number two is Olivia Rodrigo, because she was one of the first artists that like I listened to since her beginning, and I just like have grown up with her music. I love her so much. Number three is Joe, as in like end of beginning. Because I feel like if I just say Joe, people are like, Mama. Anyways, what was I saying? Anyways, yeah. So like end of beginning Joe, like Stranger Things Joe. You know, you feel me? Love him, and I also really love Paramore because Hayley Williams is my queen. And my personal opinion is that After Laughter is the best album. Period. Okay. Other musicians I genuinely love me some Gracie Abrams, Sabrina Carpenter. You know, I get down to some. I get down. Where's my train of thought going? I've forgotten every single artist that I've ever listened to in this moment. I get down to some Lave. I probably didn't say that correct. Don't come for me. So I get down to some Lave. When I was younger, and by younger I mean like 2 years ago, I loved Taylor Swift. I've kind of grown out of her. I'm not gonna lie. I've kind of grown out of her, but I still really, really appreciate her music. And it will always have a place in my heart. You feel me? Anyways, what else was I saying? Yeah, 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 yeah. Those are the artists they listen to that are on like the more mainstream end of things, I feel like. Oh, so I obviously listened to Role Model because I talked about him earlier. Love me some Role Model. He's on the verge of coming out with a new album. Anyways, we're getting off track. Let's jump into the artists. Okay. My number one small artist to start off with. And we're gonna go from biggest small artist on the list to smallest small artist on the list. If you're following that train of thought, it's kind of confusing. I will admit, my brain's not fully wrapping its head around it. But we're gonna start with the biggest of my small artists and move down. We're starting with Maisie Peters. You probably know Maisie Peters. She's opened for a lot of bigger artists. Like, I saw her live and was introduced to her because of Conan Gray. Because of Conan Gray, her opening for Conan Gray for the Found Heaven tour in the US. She also opened for Taylor Swift in England, I think it was. She's really famous for her song. I would say her top song that you probably heard. If you've heard a Maisie Peters song, it's probably this one. And that is Lost the Breakup from the Good Witch album. That's probably the one you've heard. If you were to have heard one. A little bit of background on our lovely Maisie Peters. She started making music in 2017. She currently has 2.8 million listeners, which you're probably like, that's a lot of people, Izzy. But this is just still kind of small. She's still kind of small, I would say. I would still consider that small, I guess. I don't really know what my metric for small is. She feels small to me. Yeah, I already talked a little bit about how like I got introduced to her. Mostly the main way I got introduced to her was she was opening for Conan Gray, and I wanted to like listen to her music before going to the concert because I wanted to be prepared. At that point, I still wanted to be like prepared for openers because, yeah. So that's really how I got introduced to her. Really loved her performance, and yeah. Popular artists that sound similar to her, I would say, to kind of sort of like give you a frame of reference of what sort of musical notes she sounds like. She sounds like a combination of Taylor Swift, Conan Gray, and Sabrina Carpenter, I would say. Those three. You feel me? Okay. Here are my favorite songs. So if you don't want to go digging through all the songs, here are the three I would say are worthwhile listening to by her that I really like. Number one is History of Man. This is probably also one of her more popular ones. But I think History of Man is so good. It's not only is it pretty feminist, but it's just a good song. It's just a good song. It's very like epic tale song, which makes sense for what she's singing about. Another one I think you should go and listen to is There It Goes. It's like a sad breakup song, and I think if you really like sad Taylor Swift or sad Conan Gray or sad Sabrina Carpenter, you'd really like that song. It's yeah, it's good. And there's a part where she goes, "I made it to September," and so if you ever like are up a post for September, you can always use that song. So the last one is off of her new album that I believe has come out by this point, but I have not listened to it fully. I know I'm a bad influence. But it is My Regards from her hold up. From her Fluorescence album. It's kind of got a little bit of a southernness to it, even though she's from Britain. There's a little bit of southernness, and I just the teensiest bit. Like, it's not country. It's not even close to country, but there's a little bit. But I think it's a really good song. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the next artist. Artist number 2. We're starting this is again a bigger artist, and that is my beloved Audrey Hobart. Audrey Hobart, you've probably, if you have heard of Audrey, it's from her song Sue Me, or you've probably also heard Audrey Hobart because she has helped write a lot of Gracie Abrams songs because those two are like best friends. Like, you've probably seen her, because you've definitely seen her in the Love You, I'm Sorry music video because she is in that. So that's probably where you would have seen her from. Sorry, gotta drink some Coca-Cola. Whoa, I'm moving the camera. ASMR. The mark was nowhere near that. Anyways. Audrey Hobart started making music literally last year. Literally last year, she released her first couple of singles and then her first album, Who's the Clown, and Oh My Lanta. It's so good. She already has 1.3 monthly listeners. I think the reason that even though she's only released one album and only been making music for such a little bit of time, for like less than a year. I think we're coming up on her 1 year anniversary because in June I went on a trip and I was obsessed with the song Sue Me while we were on the trip. Anyways, yeah, but she's gained a lot of traction because her best friend is Gracie Abrams and everybody loves Gracie Abrams. So, I started listening to Audrey Hobart because like I knew who she was because of Gracie Abrams, and then when Sue Me released, like it popped up on my For You page because I already was obsessed with Gracie Abrams. And so I then became obsessed with Audrey Hobart because so much of her stuff was just popping up on my feed. And blessed that it did because I love Audrey Hobart. Of all of these artists, she is the only one whom I have a vinyl of her album. So let that one sink in. Okay, so artists that she's similar to. Number one, gotta be Gracie Abrams, and that's because Gracie Abrams literally has her sound. Like, she literally helps define Gracie Abrams' sound. Okay, so yeah. Number two I would say is Role Model. I don't know why. I just feel like that's true. And Olivia Rodrigo. Those three. Sue Me is my favorite song by her. I know it's the most popular, but it is my favorite song by her. And so you should definitely listen to Sue Me. But here are three other songs that are not her most popular that you should also listen to. They're all of her Who's the Clown album because that's the only album she has out. She doesn't even have any singles that aren't on that album. So, number one, we have Bowling Alley. That's another big one. That's like her second biggest one. You should listen to that one. Phoebe. That's a hidden gem in the album. Phoebe's so good. I was listening to that on repeat when the album came out. And then another one that gets stuck in my head all the time is Chateau. I don't care that I'm at the chateau with the whole list. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Audrey Hobart is probably one of my favorites in this list of artists. Audrey Hobart is definitely up there. Let's move on to artist number three. Alright. Artist number three. We have Jensen McCrae. Okay, so if you've heard a Jensen McCrae song before, you've probably heard My Ego Dies at the End, which I'm going to be honest, that is her most popular song, but until I was like writing this video, and by writing I mean making notes on my computer, I didn't really write a script or anything, I just have notes. I had not listened to this song before I realized that this is her most streamed song by quite a bit, and I was like, how have I never heard this song before? But anyways, you have heard one. That is her most popular. So Jensen started making music in 2019, and she currently has 40. Wait, no, not 40. 400. Whoa, 490,000 listeners on Spotify. Um, how did I stumble upon Miss McCrae? I'm really glad you asked. It has to do with the man, the myth. Sorry, the mic. The man, the myth, the legend, Noah Khan. So in 2024, oh my gosh, was it that long ago? That's crazy. In 2024, I saw Noah Khan live, and Sweet Little Johnson opened for him, and I was like right up there in the pit, like right up there. Check out my Instagram if you want to see the pictures from that. Because we were right up there. Like Noah was like 10 feet away from us. Well, anyways, Jensen McCrae comes out. If you don't know, Jensen, well, obviously, I'm assuming you don't know because I'm introducing this artist to you. Jensen has a song called Dead Girl Walking, which, if you're a really big musical theater nerd, you will know that there is a musical theater song with the same title, Dead Girl Walking, from Heathers. Big musical theater song. Theater kids love it. And so she goes into the crowd. She goes, "Where are my theater kids at?" And I didn't really raise my hand because at that point I was kind of graduated and I was freshly over the like high school lifestyle. I was like, "Gimme, I don't want to be associated with them anymore." Even though I love theater, still love theater, listen to theater music all the time. But my friends, all of my friends that were with me, started to point at me. Like, "Oh yes, this is the theater kid." And we were so close that Jensen saw, and she was like, "Oh wow, this poor girl, all her friends are calling her out." And this is one of the most magical artist moments in my life. And like, I felt like I owed something to her to start listening to music. And also, I just really like her music. Her music is very much here's what I got for artists. I put Noah Khan, Lizzie McAlpine, and Gracie Abrams. So that very like indie folk sort of music, indie folk pop, that sort of genre, you know. So my favorite songs by Miss McCrae. My favorite songs starts with Massachusetts. That's my favorite. From her album, her newest album. Yes, it's from her newest album. I don't know how, but they found me. Yeah, that's her newest album. That's from her newest album. Really good song. I heard it for the first time, like live. That was the first time I heard it live, and just, oh, literal chills. Go listen to that one. It always gets stuck in my head. The another one is Adam's Ribs from, I think this is from her first album, Are You Happy Now? That one's really good. And then again, the other one from Are You Happy Now is White Boy. So, y'all, it's just, whoa, sorry. It's just so good. Like, she's just so good. I really recommend listening to those songs. They're very like, all three of those are about like breakups and getting over breakups. But yeah, they're really good sad songs to listen to, like when you are just in your feels and you want to scream, belt a sad song. Okay, let's move on to artist number 4. Alright, artist number 4. We're starting to get more niche. More and more niche. Artist number 4 is Taylor Bickett. Taylor, you most likely, the biggest song you've ever heard of hers is the song Quarter Life Crisis, her single. Yeah, I think I discovered this song from like my Discover Weekly on Spotify, I was like in the mood for new music, and so I put this just random playlist on, and this was one of the songs on there, and it just like stuck in my head. And I was like 16. It was one of like the first artists I like really started exploring. First like niche artist I really started exploring for myself. Like and finding, not because like it was an opener or I saw it on TikTok. It was like legitimately an artist I discovered just through listening to music on Spotify, which I think is I think that's a really good way to like discover new music, is just to like listen to new playlists on Spotify. It can be sometimes like daunting. Sorry. This soda is revenging against me. I think it's a really good way to find new artists and such, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's how I found her. If you don't like any of these artists I talk about, just like keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Taylor started making music in 2021, and she currently has 287,000 listeners on Spotify. The artists I think she's really similar to, I have written down Olivia Dean, Gracie Abrams, and Lizzie McAlpine. So that very like, I would say sort of like the soft, classy pop queens. Like not really. I mean, not really like indie. Well, maybe indie. Not really like folky, but more so like that like soft, classy. Really think the Gracie Abrams and Olivia Dean, I think, would really describe her. But there is some Lizzie McAlpine in there, sprinkled in there. My favorite song of hers that I always am singing, and nobody knows the song I'm singing because they're like, "Izzy, who sings this dang song you're singing?" Is "I Like Mondays." It's a single that she released, I want to say last year, and it's so catchy. It's about like liking being able to start over, and like just like needing a fresh start, like constantly, and like enjoying sort of like starting over and having a clean slate, which is something I can really relate to because sometimes I feel like I just need to wipe the board, start from scratch, you know. Another really good one by hers is Binary Code from her album This Isn't Me Missing You. I believe that is her most recent album that came out last year. Yeah. And also Embarrassing. Embarrassing is off of her more older album, Grown Up and Lonely. Or I don't know if, I'm pretty sure these guys are probably EPs. I should have written this in my notes. Y'all, this is unprofessional. I'm kicking the camera around. Yeah. What was I saying? I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah. I believe those are off her EPs. I don't think she has a full album yet. But yeah. Those both are like about like Binary Code is like a breakup song about not understanding someone, and Embarrassing is like about not wanting to fall in love. Okay. Let's go on to artist number 5. Alright, Gamerooskies. Artist number 5 is Emma Anderson. Okay. Emma Anderson, she got really popular for her song dyslexia alert. FTSG. Sorry, I'm trying to look on the camera instead of like really reading off my notes, but I had to read off of my notes for that one because that's a tongue twister. But FTSG. This is so bad. FTSG. It's the song that's like. I can't know. I did not remember the words. Baby. That song. It's that song. It was in a lot of TikToks. My best friend made a TikTok with that sound in it. Yeah, she started making music in 2024. She currently has 192,000 monthly listeners. I discovered her really through TikTok, which could be a good or a bad thing. I'm gonna leave that to your discretion. I don't even know which version I think. But anyways, I discovered her through TikTok. My best friend, like I said, made a TikTok with her song. But we gotta put FTSG, FTSG, FTSG. Gonna have to say it a bajillion times in order to get it memorized. She made a TikTok to that, and I was like, oh, this song's really catchy. And then it got stuck in my head, and then I put it on my playlist, and then I was like, what if I listen to more songs by this artist? And there you go. The artists I have written down are Role Model, Olivia Rodrigo, and Lizzie McAlpine. Although, I think those all can be true. However, I have not listened to a lot of Ella Langley, but I think Ella Langley is an artist that is very similar. Ella Langley is a lot more country, I believe. Oh, sorry, my foot itches. Oh. Ella Langley is a lot more country than... Oh! Sorry. There's a lot going on. Ella Langley is a lot more country than Emma Anderson is, but Emma has that like slight countryness to her that's kind of endearing, that you're kind of like, why is this kind of country? Because it's like also like really not country. You're like, this isn't country, but it kind of is country. Like, it's weirdly is country, if that makes any sense at all. So I do think that Ella Langley is probably the closest artist, even though I haven't really listened to Ella Langley besides like the occasional TikTok song or somebody playing it around me at like work or something, you know. Emma, she has an EP, but a lot of her songs are just singles. Which, okay, pop off, queen. Does that mean an album is in the works? The one I really like is Simple Math. Such a good song. Strongly recommend. Another one that she just came out with that is really good and such a, like, it's so relatable. It's so relatable as a extroverted queen who is also like an ambivert, who's also like kind of an ambivert who like needs to have both alone and time with people. It's called Freak in the Streets, and it's kind of like that saying, like lady in the streets or something, freak in the sheets. I think it's like supposed to, it's like something in the streets, but then it's like freak in the oh, it's like gentleman in the streets. No, I don't think that's right. I still don't think that's right. Let me look it up. Freak in the street. No, in the in the sheet saying. Oh, it's lady in the street, freaks in the sheets. Freak in the sheets. So it's a play on that, except it's freak in the streets, which I think is more relatable. Anyways, it's a really good song. I listened to it for the first time like a couple days ago. Holy shibooty, is it good. And then, another really good one by her is The Wedding Song. Talk about like a heartbreaking song about like the anxiety we feel, like I shouldn't say we because I've never gone through this, but like the anxiety like leading up to a wedding and a long-term relationship. Such a good song. Yeah, okay. We're on to our final artist now. Artist number. What am I doing? Okay, wait. Artist number 6. That took too much time. Alright, gamers. I did get up and move between this 5th and the 6th artist. Sorry, so the camera well, the camera angle might be a little different. Sorry about that in advance. What was I gonna say? Our last and final artist, our smallest, at a whopping 184,000 listeners, is Asiris. Spelled Asiris. Asiris. If you have heard of him, it's from his song. His most popular song is My Friend's Toyota from his album or EP, Loki, Loker Kennymanly, Floker Chemical. Well, I'm trying to do the really long. It's like Floker Chemical and Ecological State. Something. Okay. Never mind. We're moving past that. We're gonna move past that. Pretend I didn't do that. If you, have. Oh, all of the mashing of words made me lose my track of mind. His most popular song is My Friend's Toyota, off of his album or EP, LP, EP. I need to go to bed. Really After Everything. How did I find out about this artist? Really glad you asked. My friend from work named Xander did me a solid, and he introduced me to this artist. Gotta love that. Asiris makes really, I wouldn't consider him Asiris, he is a Christian, but I don't think he necessarily makes Christian music. Does that make sense? I could be totally off base there, because a lot of his music doesn't really like seem to be like about that, about his Christianity and stuff like that. That's at least what I've gotten from the songs. Is he writes a lot of love songs about being in love with girls. There is one song that is about that type of stuff. That is on my list of really good songs by him. But he is an artist who's Christian, but he doesn't make Christian music. Does that make sense at all? I don't know if it does. Anyways, he started making music in 2023. Yeah, and I very recently got introduced to him like last winter, and I think he's a really good find. He is very much like folk rock. That's what I would like to describe him as. I put down for artists similar to Noah Kahan, Paramore, and Lizzie McAlpine, that like folky rock. You know, because I think both Noah Kahan and Lizzie McAlpine can sort of like go a little edgier, and so can Asiris. The songs I really adore by him. Number one is Baggy T-shirt, which is a love song about a relationship. That one's really good. And Headlock is also a love song. At least I think it is. And Headlock, I think it's a love song. I can't entirely remember. I'm being so for real. I'm so bad. I'm giving you these lovely artist recommendations, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyways, Headlock is a really good song, and Carpenters Rug. That's the one that's like, I think, has the most Christian themes. I still think it's a really good song and that you should listen to it. Give it a chance. He's not necessarily always, he doesn't write only Christian music. Every once in a while, those like that part of his identity does come out. But I would ask you, if you like if you've trusted and you like the other artists on this list, and you're like, should I try out this Osiris guy? Please try, please. All right, gamers, we've made it to the end. I hope y'all go and you listen to these artists. Even though I want these artists to stay small, because I don't want to have to sell my kidney to go and see them live. I do hope they get the recognition they deserve because they're all so good. I would consider all of these artists like some of my faves and artists I would love to see like live someday. Some of them I have already seen live, but I'd love to see all of them live because I think they're all so cool. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As you can probably tell, this is my first like sort of long form content on this channel that isn't a 2 to 3 minute video made for class. Yeah. Where was I going with this? I just really would love for y'all to stick around, watch them. If you like this video, I'd love for y'all to stick around. I hope to plan to release a video every single week. Yeah, the plan is to release a video every single week. Yeah, and I just really want to these aren't really going to be video essays, clearly, because this was not a video essay. More like just like a little chatterooski about like art and storytelling through art. Really passionate, as I said before, about books, music, clearly, TV shows, and film. I'm very passionate about all those things, so I love to talk about them. I'd love for you guys to let me know what you thought, what you think. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you thought of these artists. But also, as I said before, this is all just my opinion. Do not take it seriously. It's not that deep. These are just little artists, and if you didn't like them, that's okay. We all have different music tastes. We all have differing opinions, and nothing needs to be taken you don't need to take someone's opinion as something to be offensive. Anyways, let's wrap this up. Wrap up music. The Oscar wrap up music is playing. So I gotta keep the mic clustering up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see y'all next week with another video. Yeah. Have a great rest of your day.